It says we're live, so I'm going to assume that the button is correct and we're live. So,
hey,
hello everybody!
Excellent,
right? Surprise live stream, worldwide live stream. We got Justin on the other side of the planet, literally
down in Australia and up in the United States.
Right? It's a long way away. So it is 8:00 p.m. Eastern, our time. 12 o'clock your time.
Yeah, midday here.
Tomorrow, is it 12 p.m. tomorrow where you're at?
It's technically, yes. Technically, we're in the future.
so that's kind of funny because this in-game chat, we're going to talk about time travel. So maybe that's a thing. I don't know. I'm excited about it. We got some people in the chat. I hope you guys are doing well. Greatest crossover ever, says Unstyle is Chaos. Right on, man.
Well, technically, this is not the first time we've chatted, right? We did Collecticon together, and that was freaking fantastic. I love chatting you on Collecticon, and so why not do it again?
It's a crossover event. I think one of my favorite, and it wasn't even a crossover. I guess it was kind of a crossover. Was the comic series where Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe?
Oh yes.
I'm hitting buttons here. How the heck do I get this thing off my screen?
You need to click that same comment to get it off the screen.
Really?
Yeah.
This is technology for me, guys. It is what it is. We'll just leave it up the whole time.
That can be. I
found it. Okay. I'm using something new. This is technology. I didn't know. It's just one of those things. But yeah, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe is one of my favorite comic reads of all time. It's just super fun. So anyways, we're going to talk about Hot Toys, obviously 6-scale collecting. But we got a couple of things that happened in the past week that both Justin and I were kind of chatting about it earlier. That there's I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's a little bit of drama in the 6-scale community.
Just a little
bit. I mean, it is a new week, so
it seems like every day there's something, because now we're going to be having release after release after release as soon as Christmas is done, because for those of you who don't know, in Hong Kong, Christmas isn't really as celebrated as it is in other places in the world. They more celebrate like the Lunar New Year, so that's going to be next year. That's their holiday period. So they're going to be cranking stuff out. Like we got Mark 85. I wouldn't be surprised if Spidey was next, a quarter scale Spidey. So there's going to be a lot of stuff, but then if there's something wrong, then it's going to be every week there's going to be a new controversy. Well, fingers crossed, no, but it may happen.
I'm looking forward to it. I'd rather have different kind of drama than the drama we got this week. Different kind.
Yes.
Like, I would like there to be like we didn't make enough for everybody. Like that would be a drama. Like it's so awesome, we didn't make enough.
I think the next controversy, and I saw this coming when they announced it, the upgraded suit Tom Holland head sculpt. I really didn't like the prototype. I reckon the final product, people are really not going to like it. So just prepare yourself. That one, I think people are going to really not like, just like this one. And, Hot Toys is getting so bad. They're really, letting the quality slip. No.
Yeah. Let's just stop buying everything. We're out. See you.
Ever.
And everybody knows that's never going to happen. Not going to happen. Well, we got some fun stuff to talk about. I actually have I made a video the other day, Justin. I don't know if you got it, but I made a video about my top 10 most wanted figures from the Mandalorian.
I saw it.
All right, awesome. And it turns out I'm somewhat of a prophet. Not really. But somewhat.
I love that your number one was Dave Filoni.
Right?
It was like icing on the cake. I want Mr. Kim from Kim's Convenience in his X-Wing gear. That's my number one.
I'd be in on that. But my thought was, and nobody. I asked people. I was like, what's your? Nobody said that. Like nobody said Dave Filoni, and I think that's the. I don't know. Maybe they forgot. I don't know.
It needs to happen. Now.
Yes. Don't even make it one of those like Mando releases where you announce it and 6 months later it's on the door. Like one of those.
I'm hoping that the tank trooper is like that, because technically 99.9% of that is Mud Trooper. And we have Mud Trooper. It's just the belt and the helmet. We already have the gun a million times over. The rest of it's the same. Like, hopefully it's one of those that are like, okay, we're going to get this done. We said like 2 years. We're going to get it done in 6 or 7 months, hopefully.
Exactly. Well, I want to do this. I'm going to share the screen because I actually have some photos up of that. So let's see if I can't make that happen. Share screen. We're going to go with let's see here.
I'm thinking that maybe for Toy Fair next year, Toy Fair exclusive tank driver with Pedro Pascal head sculpt. Maybe.
That could happen.
Crazier things have happened. We had Darkside Anakin as a Toy Fair exclusive, which is literally like the head. Like they didn't even put burns on the clothes or anything.
I think that's a large. I think that's a high possibility.
I would buy the heck out of that.
Oh well, it appears I'm having to click some buttons, but can I just load a photo in here? That would be even way easier.
I think so. I think you can upload individual.
Yeah, let's just do that because this thing's being silly. But this is my first time using StreamYard, guys. So bear with me as I mess with this thing because I'm not going to waste everybody's time with this. One of the things I had with this mud tank, what they're called a transport trooper, right? Which is, I guess they spent a lot of time on that name. I have no idea. But everybody was saying I won't buy it unless I get a Bill Burr portrait. Or I'll get a Pedro Pascal portrait. What are your thoughts on that? Portrait, no portrait.
Well, first of all, I understand where they're coming from because that makes sense. I mean, why would you just buy a generic trooper when in the show they were so heavily focused on being those two characters? But they think of it from their perspective. A lot of people always think of it from our perspective, like, oh, we want everything. But think of it from their perspective. It's a trooper, which in Hong Kong probably won't sell in large quantities. Mandalorian's popular, but not that popular over there. And they would have to pay the licensing rights to use Bill Burr's likeness. Same thing with Pedro. I think you're more likely to see a Pedro because they can use that head sculpt going forward for a Season 2 Mando. And I think that's why they didn't include it, was because why would they pop it in that box and then you can just pop it on your regular deluxe Mando now versus making you purchase a Season 2 version, which is 100%. Incredibly good business. It, yes, obviously upsets the consumer a little bit, but they also have to take care of both parties. They have to take care of their bottom line and also us. And they're still potentially going to be giving it to us, so we're getting it, just not maybe in the most, the easiest way, which would be just throw it in the tank trooper, then we have a Pedro head, we can pop it on, your Mando. So I'm fine with it not including it. I'm going to get two anyway. They're still going to be Mayfield and Din on the shelf. I'm fine with it, honestly.
And I'm with you on that. I think it's purely a business move on that front. Mm-hmm. And here's the other part I like about that. If it was in the States, the retail is $220. It would be $270 if they threw another portrait in there.
Oh, absolutely. And then the argument would be, well, you're getting one head, 4 hands, and a gun. Why is it X amount? So I think that's perfectly reasonable. In Hong Kong, it's less than that. Over in Hong Kong, like the regular retail price is less than $220, which obviously sweetens the deal for those in Hong Kong who can get it at that price. Right. But I don't think it's honestly too overpriced in the US. That obviously,
it's average.
We're in Australia, so we're paying even more. I'll be paying $350 to $400 down here, so I can't really comment. I see $220, and I'm like, wow, that's a steal. So it's different things for different people. Down here, stuff is super pricey, so I see the stuff in the range of $200 to $300 is really well priced. But I understand I'm not, in the States, so I'm not. It's not quite the same thing.
It's average. It's average. It is. I mean, the incinerator trooper. I think the incinerator trooper was $235, $230, somewhere in that ballpark. So
okay,
somewhere, something like that. But it's value for money. You're getting a different trooper variant, which everybody loves. Yep. And like you said, they already have all the parts. So here's the salty part. I'm gonna throw the salt on there.
Oh yes.
All right, I'm gonna throw salt. Where's our Rogue One tank trooper?
Oh. Well, now we're getting very close. We've got short trooper body plus now new transport trooper head. Right. So, they could. But will they? No, I don't think so.
No. I mean, I think, I think, even with all the Mando hype.
Yep.
Okay. I think if they announced that figure, the Rogue One figure, there'd be more hype for that than there is this.
I think that potentially because I always try and put this in perspective, especially when I'm doing reviews, because a lot of people, like in our community of people, like, the 20-odd thousand collectors in the Facebook groups, etc., we think one way, right? And not even all of us in that small circle think that way, but like the vast majority of people outside of our sphere, they probably don't even know what that tank driver is. And those are like the 99% of other people of what Hot Toys are targeting. And I'm probably upsetting a lot of people by saying this, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're a special group.
Like, you know what I mean? Like we want some really niche stuff sometimes. It's like, that would sell like crazy. Like they would make so much money. And then like when they put it out, it's like, okay, 10,000 people have ordered it, but compare that to like a Mark 85 where you get orders in the hundreds of thousands. It's like,
yeah,
I'm
keeping it in the wish box. I'm not
I would buy it.
Like I say, collections are built on hope. That's what I say. So it could happen. I mean, honestly, I did think we were going to get this transport trooper. I didn't know what the hell they were going to call it, but I did think we were going to get that. There's another figure they announced in the photos of the transport trooper, which was I don't even know what to call this. Is it a Scarif trooper? They're not a Scarif. What's it called?
Well, we do know it's at least based off the naming scheme from Rogue One. It's the grunt of whatever, if it's a shore trooper, which there's no shore, so I don't know if it's still considered a shore trooper, but it's the grunt version. So it's different to the one that we already have. I don't know if you can see it. Probably can't. He's just off screen. He doesn't have the blue, which I like. But now people are saying, well, we want the sergeant or the commander or whatever it is with the Karma skirt. And then we have like a complete trio, which would be really nice. But I hope that wasn't just a tease, because they've done it before, like the B2 battle droids in the Death Watch pictures. Yeah. Where's that? I'd
have a whole battalion of freaking droids, man.
I know, me too. I would buy
this. Like, I've already got 2. I'm getting 2 transport troopers, and I'm going to get 2 of these grunts, whatever. I think they're coming. So I'm going to predict two of those as well.
I think that, like, going back a couple of years, I would have said, 1 trooper is enough, right? But now, I think that honestly, the minimum is 2, and I draw the line at 4. So anywhere between 2 and 4 for me, for troopers, I'm going to be happy with. I got 4 Death Troopers, and I'm loving how that looks. So I'm like, you know what? I kind of kicked myself now that I didn't go back and buy a bunch of Rogue One Stormtroopers. I just got 1. I would have at least liked to have had 2, and I'm hoping that we get. I'm predicting that 99% certainty we will get a reissue of a classic white Stormtrooper for Mando.
All right, I gotta spot this up. Benjamin Reyes says, "Give some love to DC Cyborg Shazam, please." I'm gonna say it's like that movie Mean Girls, where the girl tried to keep making fetch happen. Like, fetch is not gonna happen. It's not happening.
I don't see Cyborg ever happening. I mean, think of it this way. We are back to that business mindset. It costs so much to engineer an entirely new body for technically a one-off. We don't know if we're ever going to see Cyborg again. We really don't know, aside from Zack Snyder's version of Justice League. Like, there's no plans going forward. There's been no Cyborg film announced for the next, however many years DC's announced their plans. So why would they invest so much into making that? I mean, you can say because we want it, but I don't think that's a good enough reason.
Right. Yeah, that'd be a good reason too. I just don't see.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to
happen. So I can't. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I just think you got to move on. And here's what you do: you take your dreams and hopes and dreams for Cyborg and Shazam, and then you go buy Star Wars figures.
Yeah, Star Wars is popping right now. It's a really good time to be a Star Wars fan. Honestly, I don't even hate the sequels. I kind of enjoy the sequels, but I was feeling a little bit like how I'm feeling now for the MCU, a little bit burned out. We didn't really have any crazy cool stuff on the horizon. We do have some cool stuff for the MCU, but it's a long ways off. Yeah. It's, it's coming at some point. So right now I'm kind of in an MCU rut. That's where I was for Star Wars. Along comes Mando, and it's like, okay, this is Star Wars. Like, this is how it should have been. Just take the original trilogy stuff and run with that, because that's what people love. And honestly, it's a really good time to be a Star Wars collector.
It is a good time. And I will throw this out there: if you're a Marvel collector right now, now's the time to buy, because when the hype comes back, all that stuff is expensive.
Big time. I think that for those people who are canceling their orders of the Mark 85, and for those who are potentially thinking about selling it, that thing is going to be hard to find, which is crazy to say because it was produced in crazy numbers. But a lot of people are kind of like, I don't really care about Iron Man anymore. He's not really in the MCU anymore. I'll wait for the battle damage version. To just get a basic, clean version of the Mark 85, I think is going to be a bit of a tall task come, a couple of years' time. Perhaps. We'll see.
We shall see. I just, I will tell you one figure that's absolutely surprised me. And I thought it looked cool in photos, but in hand is that flipping Midas.
Oh, yeah. Something about it. Initially going in, I was like, wow, I can't think of anything more boring. A gold Mark 7. Seriously? And then in hand, it was like, okay, you got my attention. You got the rose gold going on. You got the champagne gold. You got the chrome. My replacement faceplate just arrived for mine because mine was damaged, unfortunately. Yeah. So now I have a complete Midas. But yeah, I agree with you. I really like that figure. It's one of those like weird oddity things that it's like you don't really need it, but if you have it, you'll love it.
Yeah, you don't need it, but it's quite beautiful. Getting 190 ready says your comment on Stormtroopers, at least 2, no more than 4. Is that the same for clones?
For me, at least, I think so. Because if you think about it, you got the 212th, you got the 501st, you got all these, random battalions. So if you're going to have like 10 of each, then you're going to require a lot of space. So that conservative 2 to 4 number allows for, more than what. Say you love the 501st. By all means, get 10 501st troopers. That'd be fantastic display. But I like to have a mix of all the various.
I would jump in there that not every collector is like you and I, where we just get all kinds of crazy stuff. So a lot of people stay in their lane. Like we don't have a lane. Like, no. What's your lane? 1/6. Okay. So some people. I
don't even stick to that. I don't even stick to just that lane.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I know you don't. But so some people's lane is Mando, or their lane is prequels, or whatever your lane is. So it depends. For me, I'm getting at least 6 of the 501st clones. But if they drop the 212, the Wolf Pack, who knows? I don't know. I don't know.
I agree. It'll make for a hell of a display. That many. If you have the room, do it. That's just a no-brainer. If you have the money and you have the room, get it done, because that many 501st troops. Say you got Dark Side Anakin, or you can even have normal Anakin in the middle with the hood up. Ooh.
Oh, I'm just thinking. You got Ahsoka. I'm thinking of literally the photo they got, the promo photo with all the 330 seconds. You got Rex with his helmet off. You got Ahsoka. It's going to be epic.
Now I'm thinking maybe more is required, because I completely forgot about the 332nd helmets. So maybe you need 2 501st and then 2 332nd, or even 4 of each.
And then 2 of the Phase 1 helmets, because they got 3 helmets.
Oh my God, don't even.
I love the
now
Phase
I see.
1.
Now I see. Now I see. Okay.
Yeah, I've got 6 on order, but that won't be all I get. It just. I missed out. I wasn't collecting when they originally released them. I'm not going to miss them this time.
No. A lot of people did miss them, and like, now's your time. Get them while they can. Don't be like, oh, I'll get them when they're on discount. People are wiser than you think. Last time they missed out. They're not going to miss out this time. So I don't think there's going to be a discount section where they're going to be sitting. You better get them now. That's for sure.
Yeah. If you want a discount section, right? There's not really a discount section right now, because there's not a lot.
Just first order troopers.
Yeah. I dumped all of mine. I got rid of every one of them. They had to go. The only sequel trilogy figures I have now, I have Rey and BB-8, and I have the Force Awakens Kylo. That's it.
Yep.
I dumped everything.
Oh, poor sequel trilogy.
Sorry.
I see what they're doing with Mando. They're trying to,
they're
put
trying
life back into it, but we'll see.
They're trying. We're going. Yeah, it's going there. So we got the the one accessory I was going to talk about. I had a photo. I can't get the photos to work. Whatever. The one accessory I really want with this grunt trooper is the tray with a cup of coffee. There's no way we're getting it, but that would be cool. Just to have just like a trooper sitting there with a cup, and I would probably just find me one and I'll make it myself.
Yeah, you can.
But that would just be because that dude's just like getting his drink and he's like, "What the hell's going on here?" And then he gets shot. So, what was he doing? He's just getting coffee. Cool.
Yeah, I'm really happy that we're getting that trooper. It was one of those things that, like, I'm going to liken it to something a bit interesting. I'm going to liken it to Luke in the last episode of Mando. It's like we knew it was Luke as soon as we saw the X-Wing, but then they didn't show his face. So it was like, but is it? It's like, but we know it is. But is it? And then he's walking down the hallway and you see the green lightsaber. You're like, that's Luke.
Right.
But is it? And I was like, we know this transport trooper is coming. But is it? Like, that's how I felt about the trooper. And thank goodness they actually made it.
Did anybody, I have a question for you guys in the chat. Did anybody in the chat take note that the Empire or Gideon, whoever built this ship, had all the money to build these dark troopers, they could fly through space, but they got black and white monitors in their bridge? Like, what the heck?
Oh, they had to give us that, 1970s era technology to blend the two.
I'm like, how they couldn't see what color the blade was, and we're sitting there.
No, they had no idea.
I'm not that they would have known anyways, but and somebody pointed out that I think it was I don't remember who pointed out, but how if Boba Fett had came along with them on the bridge, like that interaction, what would that interaction be like between Fett and Luke when he finally showed up? I think that would have been interesting, but.
I think the reason why Boba wasn't there was because they wanted to set up that really awesome scene with Bo-Katan and Sasha Banks' character. I'm not sure what her name was. Cara Dune and Fennec. They wanted to have like the A team of Star Wars, basically, like kicking ass on that bridge. And if Boba was there, and if the other guy, Mando, who was with them previously was there, it would have kind of ruined that. And I'm fine with that. Boba did more than enough badass stuff, and I'm sure he's going to do way more. I want that figure, by the way. I think they're calling him re-armored Boba Fett now. Like, that's the official name.
Well, with his new paint job.
Yeah, I want that crispy Boba Fett. I need that.
Yeah, I'm with you. Somebody, Scott's giving me advice on this thing, so I'm gonna see if I can't make that work. Yeah, I definitely. Well, I think there's two versions. I think we need like the desert Fett too, though, right? The messed up head and the backpack, and then the cane and the whole thing.
I think that could be a good candidate for a Toy Fair exclusive. The weathered version. Would you be mad though if they didn't do a Tamura Morrison bald, damaged head sculpt and just gave us like Boba Fett? Oh
yeah, I wouldn't want that. I want the one from the show. Yeah, if they just gave us the Commander Cody sculpt. No, that wouldn't work at all. I don't think that would.
I hope they do the head sculpt, but I wouldn't be surprised if they gave us no head sculpt at all. I wouldn't surprise me, but I hope that we get one.
I hope so. I mean, it's and Toy Fair, they do crazy stuff like that, so I'm excited about it. But
yes.
I don't know what other. I'll talk about mine. What other figures are you wanting from the Mando?
I need a Cara Dune. Like, why has that not happened? Make that happen. Cara Dune is pretty much up there. She's at this point a pretty main character. She's been in 2 seasons. She's been, doing stuff alongside Mando a lot. So I would like to make that happen. But I want to see, as I said, a reissue of just the classic white basic stormtroopers. Like,
yes,
I want to get more of them.
In the Moff Gideon deal. Yes,
exactly. Yes. At least 2 or 3 of those I'm gonna pick up. They need to have, at any given point, if there's an original trilogy Star Wars show, I think there should be a stormtrooper, just a basic stormtrooper readily available. It's kind of like how Lego doesn't go too many years without having a Death Star on the shelves. They always, at some point, whether it's a new version or an old version, they have a Death Star available. Yep. I think it should be kind of the same way with basic stormtroopers. Those shouldn't be hard to get, I think. So
I agree.
Hopefully they do that. Aside from that, I would love a Fennec, but I don't see that happening. Boba and Cara Dune are kind of up there as well as Bo-Katan, but that's kind of it for me. I'm not getting too greedy. I'm trying not to, at least.
Well, that's fine. Cara Dune, Fennec, yeah, all the Death Watch. Well, not there. We're getting Death Watch.
What do they call the owls?
Other...
They call the owls or something.
The owls, yeah. So yeah, that's the owl. They're called. I guess Hasbro called them the Loyalists.
Oh,
that's what they call. But they are the owls. That is what they're actually called. So yeah, I'm all as many Mando variants as they want to make. I mean, the Armorer. I think we can. I mean, why not? Why do we have
I
no?
would buy that.
I don't know. It's just weird. It's
the Armorer would be a fairly easy one for them to do. No head sculpt, first of all. That's right up their alley. Helmet, torso armor. The rest is cloth goods. It's just a basic body. That's, I would have thought, would have been one they announced for season 1. I don't know why they didn't, honestly.
I agree. I think it's 100% needs to happen. And
it's one of those weird oddities that I've noticed over the years of reviewing 1/6 scale figures that probably people aren't all that conscious about, but female figures don't really sell, and the reviews don't really do that well. Everyone was super hype on Nebula. Nebula gets 10, 20, 30,000 views, and then we've got a Midas who is edging 300,000 views. And it's like, really? You Midas versus Nebula? Really?
Nebula is flipping beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's one of those unspoken weird things. It's just they don't make female figures because for some reason they don't sell, and I don't know why. I'm all in on the entire line. I don't know why anyone would specifically choose not to get female figures, but it's just a weird bias that unfortunately I've noticed over the years that some people have. They may or may not know that they do have it.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the Cara Dune and all those. I'm definitely in. But what we wanted to we were kind of transitioning into this Mark 80, talking about Iron Man, this Mark 85 thing. So Monday, at least my time, Monday, they dropped the Mark 85. It hit the shelves, and the world exploded.
This boy right here.
Yeah, the paint job on that is flipping beautiful, I think.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous.
So I know there's a lot of people that are waiting for the battle damage one, and they're like, which version should I get? And one of those things. So that's a thing. But the portrait. So they initially, I guess the portrait they initially gave us with the promo photos was pretty much the Mark 50 portrait. I don't know what it was, which we have 5 of. And then they give us this thing. And the entire world went, what the hell? That's like everybody.
It's quite weird to me that they took all of the criticism for this one to heart, but not Ant-Man, where I think there was more for Ant-Man. There were like memes and stuff made for Ant-Man.
Still.
So why did you take it's only been a day or two. Why all of a sudden was this guy we can't take any more comments. We have to do something about it. Weird.
My thoughts on this. Number one, I had some photos. I can't figure it out. Whatever. I took some screen grabs from Endgame and I compared it to the portrait that you have in your hand.
Yeah,
it's way closer than the Mark 50 portrait. Way closer. I mean, Tony at the end of Infinity War, beginning of Endgame, he's floating in space. He loses 80 pounds or something crazy.
Yep.
Can't even walk. He's dehydrated. His age, all that stress has aged him. He doesn't look the same. He's not the healthy guy at the beginning of Infinity War. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a different guy. And the stress has gotten to him. And they gave us that portrait. Not only that, but they gave us the gray hair, and the hairstyle is completely different from the two. And it's in my opinion, a better portrait. Yeah, see, it's a better representation of the character in the film. I'll put it that way, I think.
Honestly, from some angles, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not gonna apologize for that. I think it's pretty good from some angles. From others, though, I agree, it's way off.
Yeah,
but I agree with what you're saying. It is more gaunt. they did get the grays. And if you like, say for instance, it's kind of hard to show on camera. You'll see when you know, Ryan and I make our videos, but like even under the chin, he's got like a little bit of a bagginess, like a little bit of baggy skin, like he's lost a hell of a lot of weight, and you can see the age there. But for some reason, pictures really wash it out. Like he's got the wrinkles, got the crow's feet, like he does look older, but then at the same time, like I don't know, it's super hard to explain what is like the one thing. I don't think there's one key thing that makes people not love it. There's a couple of tiny little things that altogether just throw people off.
Right. I think you can say that about all kinds of portraits. I mean, there's some people who will complain about. I mean, the Obi-Wan, the episode 3 Obi-Wan. People jumped up and down about that thing because they changed it, and then they, you know, that's the thing.
I don't get that one. I really don't get, because I think that's a strong sculpt.
I think it's great too, but
like that.
But just like anything, there's always something for somebody to complain about. I mean, just I can't name many figures that somebody didn't complain about.
Me neither. Even like some really sensational ones, there's something that some people take issue with. And by all means, like, we're not saying you have to love everything. You can have your gripes about stuff, but most of the time, I always pose this question. Say, for instance, Gamora. Show me a better, for the same money, in, you know, it doesn't matter what scale it is, show me a better Gamora. You can't, right? Same thing with Mark 85. Show me a better one. Where are you going to find that? Exactly. I don't know where you can find that. So you're complaining. Say, for instance, you had something that's truly mind-blowingly amazing and so much better for, you know, similar money. Then okay, I understand. But this is the best in any scale, in my opinion, Mark 85. And it kind of includes that head sculpt. Don't hate me for saying that.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. I think you and I were talking earlier. It's okay to not like something. Like, don't buy it. There's no problem with that. But that's not what we saw this week. What we saw this week is, I don't like this, therefore Hot Toys is the worst company on the planet.
I see that.
Hot Toys doesn't care about their customers, or their quality sucks. Or I mean, they start attacking like JC Hong, like personal attacks.
I mean, put it this way: someone put a hell of a lot of time and effort and work and blood, sweat, and tears into that head sculpt. Yes, it may not have turned out the way that they had intended and the way that we would have liked, but that doesn't mean that they didn't put their all into getting it to the point that it is at now. So, like, you're allowed to not like something. That's perfectly fine. But I even said this in my review, actually. People, like, they're people at the end of the day behind the work. So, like, you may potentially be making an impact on that person outside of their work. Like, just you can let them know that you're not a fan of that work, and that's fine. Not everyone has to like everything. But just bear in mind that they are people at the end of the day, and they did put a lot of effort into making this. It's still a piece of art, right? And art is always subjective. So just gotta be careful with these things.
Critique the work, but like, you gotta leave the person out of it. Like, you gotta gotta separate that too. And here's the best way to do it. The best way to do it is just not buy it.
Literally, just if you don't like it, don't buy it. But for me, like, if you look around here, pretty much all of my figures have helmets on, and I know that people are saying, well, it's included in the box, so it has to be good. And I agree with you. But for me, I have the helmet on anyway, so it's a nice bonus, right?
Right.
I'm not displaying Tony Stark. I'm displaying Iron Man. So
agreed. And you said that about the Tom Holland thing earlier. People are not going to be happy with. I think the Tom Holland portraits on the Spider-Man figures are oversized. I don't think they look right.
So far, I've liked the way they look, but this new one, I agree with you. I really don't like the prototype. So just all of you who have pre-ordered the upgraded suit, the new black and red one, expect it. I don't think it's going to be a strong head sculpt. Just my opinion. And people are going to say, oh, another one. We had Iron Man, and then we had people for some reason don't like Qui-Gon. I don't know why. I really like Qui-Gon. We had Qui-Gon, and we had Iron Man, and we had Ant-Man. Hot Toys is now the worst. But
Yeah.
out of the 50 plus figures they've released this year, maybe 3 or 4 of them have been not horrible, but less than ideal.
Yeah,
I
go
don't
look
think
at
that you
Tarkin
can say
Count Dooku or Chirrut or go look at those and tell me they're not good. Like
the
that's
Solo Maul. I love the head sculpt on Solo Maul. That is
Yep.
a beautiful sculpt.
I agree. Solo Maul is a sleeper.
No, oh, big time.
I'm telling
People
you,
are gonna be kicking
I've been
themselves.
warning people. Y'all are gonna be kicking yourselves when you miss that
Oh, yeah.
one. And then the Clone Wars Maul comes out and it's not as good.
I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we see Ray Park back as Maul. There are a lot of threads that were left dangling that the Mandalorian has picked up. Obviously, Maul is long since deceased by that point, but I wouldn't be surprised if in one of those other shows, Maul is too big of a character not to use if he's alive in that time period that whatever show it's in. So I wouldn't be surprised if that version of Maul we see again, and then people are going to be like Return of the Jedi Luke, now looking for it for a reasonable price. Yeah, it ain't going to happen.
All of the sudden, that Jedi Luke is a fantastic figure, when in reality, it's really not.
Yeah,
It's a good figure. It's not a $500 figure.
No way, absolutely not.
Close.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think there will be another Return of the Jedi Luke release. But the one thing that I have to say about Mandalorian is that it's correcting the biggest fatal flaw about George Lucas's Star Wars and Disney's Star Wars as well. If you take that into account, the cool character design versus what they actually do, and even if you count a character as big as Luke, like in Return of the Jedi, he's wearing his black Jedi robes. His lightsaber duel is not all that impressive with Darth Vader. He's swinging that thing around, he's just bashing him with the lightsaber. Whereas you contrast that to the hallway scene now, where he's kicking ass. It's like, okay, they've done that character right. Boba Fett, they've reinvigorated the love for Boba Fett. They actually had him do something. That is the one fatal flaw. Like you look at Captain Phasma. You look at any of those other small side characters that look amazing, like really cool, but then like you never see them do anything or get used in any particular way. That's also like even Darth Maul. If we didn't have Clone Wars and if we didn't have Rebels, he would have been just a dude with horns on his head that was cut in half, and that's that.
By the way, Hot Toys Savage Press. Make it.
Oh, I would love to have a big. He'd be a big honking body, like big beefy guy. I would love to see that.
I mean, we're getting Clone Wars Maul. Why not get a Savage? I'm just saying. I've been so tempted because I'm getting ready to do another collection video, but I've had my Emperor up here in a pose that I flip and love for the longest time. But I want to put him versus the Solo Maul of having a fight scene.
Yes, I'm.
But I don't have Savage, so like, what do I do?
I'm hoping we get a
prequel. He's already dead.
A prequel Emperor, I hope.
Yeah, that'll be sick. Nonito says, order my 85 today, and I think the sculpt is pretty good. I guess I can put that on the screen. Sorry, make it easier.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at who was in the movie and he went through, shout out to you guys for making amazing videos. Love the live streams. Thanks, brother.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for that very much. That's what we're saying. And I'm looking at my Iron Man figures, and not one of them is unhelmeted. Even the Mark 47, I've got the empty portrait helmet in there.
Me too.
Like it's not even that.
Me too.
So,
the coolest part. The coolest part for me about troopers or helmeted or masked characters is the mask, like the outfit, the costume. When you take that away, like it kind of bothers me in the MCU that now we've gotten to a point that every 2 seconds. Iron Man lands, the helmet goes back, then he starts talking, it goes on for 2 seconds, he does the fight, then it goes off again. I kind of don't like that. Like, I prefer my superhero characters to be that character. Like, I love Mando because he never takes off the helmet. It kind of started to bother me that Boba Fett kept popping the helmet off. It's like, dude, in original trilogy, you left it on, please leave it on. Like, I understand you want to show it to you, Morrison. Just leave it on. So, I agree with you. For me, it's staying in the accessory tray anyway, but I still see the other side of the fence.
I see both. And I mean, these are not inexpensive figures. So I understand when you're dropping $400, $500, $600 on something and you want it to be as awesome as you expect it to be. I get it. And I don't think Justin or I are saying that you should not be disappointed and you have to love everything. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
But what I'm saying is what we saw this week is you can critique somebody, you can do it without just being a complete dick. That's what I'm saying. And
also
that's all.
You have to remember that the price point that they are in the States is not like that. That's what we pay. Yes, obviously, Sideshow distributes to the rest of the world, but that price is inflated. So that inflates our expectations potentially. Whereas in Hong Kong, a normal figure like I don't know, I'll pick one like Beskar Mando is anywhere from 100 to 200 Australian dollars, which is like 150 to 200 American dollars for a regular release figure. So that brings your expectations down a little bit. But when you're paying the higher price, but for an item that was not really ever meant to be that expensive, it's like, say, for instance, a car. Like you buy something like a Tesla Model 3, for instance, and you've paid more on the aftermarket because they're really hard to find. You don't then expect that vehicle, just because you've paid more to have it, to then be in the same league as something more expensive just because you pay that amount. I know it's hard to separate the amount you paid from the price that it was intended to be, but I always keep that in the back of my mind. It's like, okay, this is how much I paid for it, but this is how much it actually was sold for in the country and by the company that made the darn thing. So it's like, it's not fair to say, well, for a $400 figure, but
yeah, and you
can't
$400
figure, is it?
You can't expect it to move from one side of the planet to the other for free. Like there's a cost incurred there. So I mean, and then you got your middleman. You got to make profits, and I mean, it's just business. You got to have it.
Exactly. It's something to keep in the back of your mind. Just that the extra that's being paid on top isn't for that actual, like, for the product necessarily. It's for you to be able to get it, because it's an import. It's an import. It's not made in the US. It's made in Hong Kong, sold in Hong Kong, and then distributed in the US. It's like Bandai and Figure Arts. It's not made in the US, it's made in Japan. Therefore, in Japan, you'll be paying significantly less. It's the same thing with Hot Toys. It's just on a bigger scale, obviously.
Right, exactly. Oh, Liam says, so we're getting scammed. No, it's business. It's just like there's a cost of doing business, and that cost of doing business is passed to the consumer.
It's how it works with everything, even Apple products. If you like, people are complaining that an iPhone costs $1,000 in America. They cost $2,400 here in Australia for the same product. I'm not going to complain that my $2,400 iPhone doesn't, fly, because that's what I expect. That's just the cost. It's an imported thing. It has to come across to Australia. They have to do all the regulations, all the regulatory stuff, and they have to, inflate the price because of the currency conversion and the shipping in it. So it becomes a more expensive item. But I still see an iPhone as an iPhone, even though I've paid double for it.
it does whatever they said it's going to do sometimes. And
sometimes.
I'm an Apple guy, so I mean I'm good, but it's sometimes it just don't work.
Sometimes
it's one of those things. So this past actually a couple weeks ago, they announced the I want to talk about DC for these guys. They announced a DX19 Batman. And we're getting a Bat Pod.
Mm-hmm. As
somebody who's never, ever even handled, let alone owned, a DC Batman figure, is it one to pick up?
I've had the previous one, the DX12, and in fact, a wonderful channel member has actually gifted me it for Christmas, so I'll be having a DX12 again to compare to the new one. It depends how much you like Nolan versus Batman. He's not my favorite version of Batman. And I love the movies. They're amazing. But Ben Affleck is my Batman. He's a big, beefy brawler. He'll come in and he'll take your teeth out. That's what I like about Batman, whereas Nolan version is the more detective-oriented version, which is cool too. But I don't really like the suit. So if I had to pick between Batfleck and him, I would go Batfleck all the time. But that's not to say that it's not going to be amazing. Like the detail on the suit alone, with the carbon fiber weave on the various different panels and all the bits and pieces that can move. Plus, it looks like a fabric mesh undersuit. So fingers crossed posing is a thing. Fingers crossed.
Let's hope.
I think
So the promo photos look like it'll be movable, so we'll see. I don't. You never know until you get it in hand and you go, "Do I want to break it?"
We seem to get a lot of the same behind-the-scenes info, and I'm not sure if you've been told by the same source, but I've been told that the next Nolanverse re-release will be a new Joker in the same vein as the DX11. Yep. Obviously, probably a larger size to go along with your new DX19, but that's what I've been told. I don't know if you've been told the same thing, but apparently that's happening.
I have heard such things, and yes, I can confirm. Yes, and I'm excited about that too.
The next one, which apparently is going to be sometime next year, and I don't know if this is true. It could just be a complete rumor, but from the same source that called all of the other stuff that's happened, including the Mark 85 being released on Monday, said that there's going to be a reissue of the Keaton Batman and the Keaton Joker, also in the larger scale. So we'll see. It's
gonna in the prop. Yep. There's a lot of there is some hope for DC collectors. There's hope out there.
Yep, a little bit of hope.
We'll see. Now, what we're eventually gonna get this Snyder Cut thing coming out, and yep. I think we talked about this on the Collector Con, but the black suit Superman, 100% on board with that.
I would love that.
And I'll buy a Batfleck Batman. I think he did a great job as Batman. So I'm good with that.
I think be wary of Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think the hype is overinflated, kind of like Cyberpunk. His movies have all been very divisive. Every single one of them. Nobody's unanimously loved any of Zack Snyder's movies. There's been lovers of the films and haters of the film. Everyone just be cautious. Because the hype is like way up, and I think it's going to be a little bit weird and a little bit cerebral, and some things may not necessarily make sense because that's how Zack Snyder likes to weave his stories. They're very complicated, very intricate, and there are a lot of moving pieces. And I don't think it's going to be like how everyone thinks it's going to be. Yeah. Personally,
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Me too.
I'm going to watch it. So hopefully by the time it shows up, we'll be able to watch it in a theater. That would be way better.
Oh, we don't have HBO Max, so that would be my only way is to watch it in the theater. Well, not only way, obviously. Yeah. But to watch in the theater. So I'm hoping that they do a theatrical release, even though it's 4+ hours long. I don't care. I'll watch it.
HBO Max and a VPN, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that honestly, I may have to resort to that now that they've announced their upcoming movie slate will all be going directly to HBO Max. So I may have to resort to that. Wonder Woman, we've got our tickets to see Wonder Woman. For some reason, we not showing it on Christmas Day, even though they are in the States. We're showing it on the day after, which I'm not sure if you call it Boxing Day as well. We call it Boxing Day on the 26th. So I have my tickets on the 26th.
I'm super hyped for that because Gal Gadot is just flipping amazing. So I'm just...
There's something about a super punchy, vibrant, colorful movie with an 80s soundtrack. It's like you can't really complain about that. Like, even if it's not the most amazing story, it's like you're gonna have fun. Like, come on.
Are you saying you want a Steve Trevor with parachute pants figure?
I would buy a Toy Fair exclusive Steve Trevor. I would buy that. I'll be all over that.
Parachute pants, fanny pack.
Oh yes,
and a visor.
There's a question for you. Do you think, aside from Golden Eagle armor Wonder Woman and regular Wonder Woman, do you think we're going to get any more figures from Wonder Woman 84?
I think I have my concerns about the villain.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
I don't think we're going to get that villain. I just don't see it. I think we're going to get Wonder Woman, and I think that's all we're going to get.
Yep. Yeah. I think we're going to get Wonder Woman, and then that's that.
I think that's it. I don't see anybody else from the film that I think would be hyped about. Anybody would. I just don't see it. I mean, they didn't even make Shazam, for God's sakes.
Oh, don't even get me started. Shazam 2, hopefully they'll make Shazam. Like, I can so clearly in my head picture what a Hot Toys Shazam would look like. The Superman body from BVS/Justice League and that beautiful screen printed suit. I can so easily visualize it.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They didn't
They're
make
cool, man. I'm predicting April Fool's Day again. We see another Shazam preview.
People
will be like an ongoing troll.
People would lose it if they did that. I think
I want to put that on my calendar to make sure I do that.
make your own April Fool's Hot Toys teaser for Shazam. So cruel, so cruel.
I would buy it. It was a good movie.
I would buy. I loved Shazam. Shazam was one of my favorite DC movies. Honestly, I would buy the whole Shazam family. Not likely to happen, but Zachary Levi as Shazam, I would be all on board for that. But when it comes to Wonder Woman, and you're right, like you think about it, aside from the villain, like who else is toyetic in Wonder Woman? Like who else would you be like, I need to have a figure of that? Not like, say for instance, I'm trying to think of one that's just like cool to have. Hot Toys don't really make just random cool to have actor ones, like the Blitzway Ghostbusters, for instance, like really nice high quality representations of that character, but they didn't really sell all that well. They're super pricey to find now because they're not very toyetic. Like a Ghostbuster figure is not very toyetic. It's a guy in a jumpsuit with a backpack on. Like, you know,
unless you want
like,
the Ecto one for stupid money, and you have this much real estate to display it.
Exactly, and the same thing I think is why they didn't make a Joaquin Joker is because it's not very toyetic. It's a guy in a red suit. Like, yes, it's the Joker, but it's not the Joker that we know in terms of like doing very Jokery type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a bunch of accessories you can give him aside from a gun and a notepad. It's like, it's not very toyetic, and I think that's why Hot Toys strays away from other licenses like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones and all that sort of stuff. Like really interesting, unique costume designs, but not the same sort of toyetic as a Superman. You know what I mean? Like,
right, exactly. And that's been made of toys for 60 years.
Yes.
Josh asked this question. Think we'll ever get a Vulture from Homecoming?
We're getting a third-party one.
I think that's the best we're going to get.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I'll try and post a link somewhere. But Jazinc Dioramas is I don't know how he's doing it for what he's charging, but holy crap.
It's
amazing.
It's a weird value proposition for Hot Toys because I would love to see a Vulture, but it's a little bit too past its prime now, unless he appears in another movie. Then I would have to move my no to a solid yes. But I personally would buy Vulture without the wings, but nobody else probably would buy Vulture without the wing. Yeah. I'm there for the character, not necessarily that huge wingspan. But then again, I said the same thing about the new Hulkbuster, the Power Pose one. I was like, I would love for Hulkbuster to be Power Pose. You don't pose him anyway. And then I never bought it. So I'm saying that now. Maybe it's not the case. It's hard to do. He's a lot of engineering, very expensive to produce.
Yeah,
I see why they.
I don't care if it's got the wings or not. I'm getting the one that he's making, but
me too.
Just because I just can't pass on that. I'm also getting the Rey speeder, the Star Wars speeder.
I really want a Razor Crest cockpit, or a Slave One cockpit. I'd be down for that.
Ooh, Slave One. I could see that. I'm passing on the Falcon cockpit. I don't have any characters to go in it.
It's big. It's big. I have it. I really like it.
Yeah. If I build, I guess if I get rid of all my stuff in here, I'd make room for it. But
the issue, and I don't know if it's necessarily an issue, but it's something that I've noticed is Jazinc things can be quite heavy sometimes, which is a good way of feeling the quality in hand. But I come from the background where the lighter something is, the better, because like the '89 Batmobile from Hot Toys, that thing is huge, but it's not very heavy. You can put it on top of your glass cabinet. You'll be fine. But you can't really do the same thing with your Jazinc Justice League Batmobile because it's so heavy. Right. It is like I literally, and I'm not even joking, I have a recurring back injury that I had when I was younger. I had a slipped disc. And I literally re-injured my back when I was reviewing the Jazinc Batmobile. That's how heavy it is. So,
is it heavier than the Hulkbuster?
Oh, absolutely. And the width of it and the length of it, and it's just so like if it was a light, like basically a hard plastic shell, and then the structure was made out of a nice aluminium, that would have been perfect because it would have been sturdy, but still nice and light. I'm hoping that they lean more towards that. The hallmark for me of good engineering is a balance of size and weight.
Gotcha.
Just making something super heavy is like, why? Don't do that.
Right. Lane
But
says,
I still love their stuff. I still love their stuff.
yeah, Lane says, you honestly don't see us getting Cheetah from Wonder Woman 84. Iron Studios is doing 110 scale.
No.
I don't think it's going to be a standout villain.
No.
I don't. I mean, I like Kristen Wiig. She's funny.
Yep.
I don't have a high expectation for a villain, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am.
I think about how they would do it. It would be so. They would have to do probably a new body, and they would cover it in fur, like Chewbacca, like a fur suit. But then how would that look? Versus if you do it fully sculpted, like then using joints.
And then people would, then it would be it's not durable and this and that. I mean, Iron Studios is doing some amazing stuff. But 1/10 scale statue is a whole different ballgame than a movable action figure.
Absolutely, you can get away with so much more as a fixed statue piece. You can just sculpt everything, and that's. Not to say that it's easy, but it's easier than making something move and swap out pieces and hands and bits and pieces like the Cheetah would be, because then you get to the point of, okay, well, we're doing a fur suit, but what do we do about the hands? There'll be a seam at the hand. Then what are we going to do? So it's like there are so many little challenges that make a Cheetah kind of impossible, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't see it happening either. We've got Iron Studios does 1/10 scale statues. If you're a statue collector, the value is there, I think. Their portraits,
sometimes. Sometimes.
I pre-ordered
Catwoman.
In-game Cap. I pre-ordered that like when it first dropped, and then when it started showing up, I was like, nah. That's way nah. Like I can't do it. Which is funny because I didn't go on the Iron Studios page and blast them. I just canceled my order and lost my.
Why did you not do that? You have to tell them how bad their work is and that they're horrible people. What are you doing?
All right, fine. I'll make a video tomorrow. I just lost my $80 deposit that I put in it and said, "Oh, my fault, my bad." And that's interesting thing because I know you. At least I don't know. I don't think you pre-order anything, do you? You pre-order anything? Or not much.
Not Hot Toys, no. So Hot Toy stuff, I'll just get sent the invoice when it comes out because yes, I still pay for everything. People are like, you get everything for free. No, I still pay. I just get sent the invoice when it comes out, pay the invoice, and the thing is sent. But for weird, wacky other stuff, like the EFX Season 2 Mando helmet, I pre-ordered that. The anything from Hasbro Black Series, like their Darksaber and the Rearmored Boba Fett helmet, pre-ordered that. Lightning Collection Power Rangers, I'll pre-order that stuff. So I do still pre-order anything that's not Hot Toys. I've just recently gotten into Star Wars Lego.
Oh goodness, good luck.
I don't know why, but I just got the UCS, the Slave One, the UCS Slave One. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it so much.
I'm this close. I really want that destroyer.
Oh, I saw it. They had it on special at one of our local stores for 20% off, which never happens on UCS sets. But 20% off our price is still more than what you guys pay at normal retail.
700,
so I'm like
700 US.
It's 1,300 here.
Oh, that hurts my feelings, man.
Yeah, it's
but it's like this. I mean, you saw it. It's
yeah.
I don't know. I would really like. I want that more than I want the Falcon. Like Falcon's cool.
Yeah.
But the destroyer is just. The destroyer with a wall full of troopers would be just awesome. So.
Because let's be honest, it's the very first thing you ever saw from anything Star Wars coming over, and then you see the Tantive 4. It is quintessential Star Wars. So I'm with you on that Star Destroyer. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. Steph, when I was at the Lego store and I was like, I'm gonna buy that, and Steph was like, no, you're not, and I was like, why? And she was like, where are you gonna put that? And I was like,
Who cares? Like that's not even a thing. I almost bought the Razor Crest, but it's too small.
Oh, it is too small. I have the Razor Crest, and I got a custom $15 clear stand because it looked terrible just sitting flat on a table. So I got a stand for it. It looks good now, but if they bring out a UCS Razor Crest, which I think they will, Whoa! I'm gonna be all over
put it
that
right next to our Hasbro Razor Crest.
I never pre-ordered that because I'm a fool. I don't know why I didn't.
You
I'm gonna
didn't?
get it, but no, I'll have to get it on eBay after it comes out.
Well, spoiler, I've got a fire pit in my backyard, and I actually have a 1-to-1 scale Razor Crest in the fire pit. So you can have that one. I won't even charge you anything.
Excellent. I'll take that one. I do have the Vintage Collection Slave 1, though. I literally just went and bought it from one of our local stores last week.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. It is fully weathered, fully painted. Like, I saw the pictures and I was like, no way. No way a Hasbro product is going to look like that. There's no chance. And then I open it up and I'm like, really? They did washes all over the entire thing? Like, it is gorgeous.
Yeah, that's on my list of things to get. I definitely want that because I've got some vintage collection. I've got AT-ATs and I've got the ATTE, the Beetle Walkers, and I've got just random vehicles that I buy with no real plan. I just see them and buy them. That Beetle Walker is awesome. Love that thing. I really want a Republic gunship. I want one of those. I haven't found one for a decent deal yet, so that's fine. But
the issue for me that stopped me from buying a lot of vintage collection stuff is, especially with the ships, except for Slave 1, they don't have a stand. And it's like, you want to have them flying. Like, that is literally the whole purpose of it. So I have the Slave 1. It comes with a stand, thank goodness, and it looks beautiful standing there, on the display. The TIE Fighter, I'm very tempted to pick up that TIE Fighter. And the ATST, the Raider one from Season 1 of the Mando, I'm very tempted to pick up that as well because vehicles are a huge part of Star Wars, right? Like, the characters are amazing, but the vehicles are a huge part of it. And I feel like it's our duty to pick up the vehicles because we're misrepresenting Star Wars in a way if they're not represented in some way.
I agree.
That's what I tell myself.
So I got to check this out. This says, Condi says the next Lego UCS is a Republic gunship. Can I Google that?
Ooh,
UCS Republic gunship. Oh, it must be a thing.
I would be all over that.
2021 Republic gunship.
Let me have a look.
UCS gunship. Let's have a look. I watch a YouTuber called M&R Productions. He showcases a lot of Star Wars Lego, and I think he's mentioned a couple of times that there's a prediction for this UCS gunship, but I don't think it's been announced yet. Has it? Maybe.
Yeah, evidently it's on. I don't. It says on ideas that it says winner announcement. Help choose one of the next Ultimate UCS sets. The winner is the Republic gunship.
Oh, yes, that's right. They put up the poll. So there was a Nebulon B frigate, gunship, and the TIE bomber. Thank goodness they chose the gunship. Nebulon B, super weird, wacky spaceship. We've gotten a bunch of TIE fighters. Republic gunship. Let's do it. I'm going to buy that.
I'm in on that.
Ooh.
And I don't collect a lot. I've got some Legos. Like, I still got this set right here. I haven't built it yet, but I got the Bespin Duel.
Ooh. That's
I haven't built
super
it
pricey. That's super pricey down here in Australia. But it's a nice, a very nice set.
I haven't built it. I paid $40 for it, so I was like, yeah.
Oh, here you can't get it for under 150. I'd say.
Well. I don't play. I like the, that's the thing. But I will definitely. I'm gonna have to pick up that vintage collecting Slave 1. If
you want me to get it, I'll get it. Let me get it.
Yeah, please do, because I don't own it. What's up with you guys in the chat? Biggest. Linda says the biggest structure display I have is a Tony Stark armor testing kit. Yeah, see it displays standing up, right?
But then look at that detail. That is insane for a vintage collection Hasbro ship.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Can you imagine what they're going to do with the HasLab Razor Crest now that you didn't get it?
I can't even. I have Mando and Boba sitting inside. You can have 3 people sitting in there, but it kind of throws off the balance if you just have one on the left and right. But yeah, it's an absolutely insanely gorgeous thing just to look at, and like that detail on the back, I literally can't get over that.
Is there a way to mount that on the wall?
I mean, you get creative. I'm sure you could.
That's something I have a 3-foot long X-wing on my wall over here.
Ooh, I need to get an X-wing of some sort, whether it's Lego or vintage collection or something.
Sorry guys, we're not talking about 6 scale, but whatever. It is what it is. It doesn't matter. You can blame Justin on this. Michael
I'm sorry.
says, "Oof."
I'm sorry.
No, he says, "Oof." Now I want a slave one. So
Get it. It's
Let
not
me
even
tell-
that pricey.
I'm going to give you guys the number one tip. You can write this, like take some notes. The number one tip to save money in collectibles is to stay off YouTube and Facebook. Stay off, because other than that, you're screwed. I mean, that's what I have. Like, I wasn't planning on getting that vintage, but that looks awesome. So it's going to cost me $150.
It's beautiful. I mean, you're right. I was nowhere near Lego until I was bored. Nothing was really coming out from Hot Toys. I started watching M&R Productions on YouTube, and I watched a bunch of his UCS videos. And Steph was like, looked over and she's like, no. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you're going to want Lego now. I'm like, no, I won't. What are you talking about? I don't collect Lego.
There's some money in Lego, man. They can get expensive real quick.
Yeah, I've agreed to just stick with anything seen in the Mandalorian, but that allows me now to be quite. I've got quite a big pool to play in. I got X-Wing, I got TIE Fighter, I got 2 Lego Slave ones. I got the UCS and the 20th anniversary one. Nobody needs 2 Slave ones, but I did. I don't know why. I honestly can't explain it.
Jonathan, vintage collection is 3 3/4.
Yes.
Thanks for the super chat, everybody. 3 3/4. And I got to show you this. Hold on. I don't know if you have this. I got.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's see if I can get it out of the cabinet. I don't collect a lot of vintage collection, but I do love the Troopers. Oh, and then I picked this up, right? And this, I want so many more of these.
I have a delay on my end, so I can't see it yet. It's coming.
Oh, okay. This is the ARC Trooper.
Oh, yes. I love those. I saw those announced, and I would love to try and hopefully find them down here someday. Hopefully.
There's no way I'm ever going to open this. It's just too good. So
that's the hard thing about vintage collection. I have only opened one, and it's the Mando. But I'm like, I needed to buy a second one because I felt bad cutting into that plastic bubble.
Thankfully, they're inexpensive, so that's okay. It's not like buying 2 Hot Toys because you want to leave one in the box. Like
they're $30 here for a little tiny little guy. How much are they in the States? Like $10, $15?
Something like that.
Australia, man.
And then they've got this like reflective metallic paint going on. It's just freaking love this thing.
Beautiful. I have the Captain Rex. I just got the Rex.
I'm waiting on my Rex. I've got Wolf. I got Wolf over there, and I got a bunch of other ones, and I've got those guys. But I find myself buying vintage collection stuff, like you said, in the middle of waiting on other items.
Yes.
And it's just like, if I don't walk in the store, or if I don't go on Amazon or whatever, then I'll save money. But
yeah,
whatever.
It's the curse of being a toy collector. You get to a point where nothing as new has arrived, and then you're like, ooh, I feel like I really need something. And then you don't know what, and you go into a store, you're very likely to walk out with something like Black Series, or now Vintage Collection, or Lego, or especially with Mando. I was looking for anything and everything Mando related. Like when the first couple of episodes came out, I was like Mando crazy. I even bought the art book, which by the way is beautiful. It's got all the concept art in it. I love that book. Mm-hmm. But like I was just looking for anything Mando. I would have bought a million Mando Funko Pops. In fact, I did buy all the Mando Funko Pops.
Yeah, me too. I admit it. I bought them. I did. I bought T-shirts, hats.
Oh yeah.
I think I got some. I got some Mando socks. I think. I got all kinds of silly stuff. Emerson says met Justin at NYCC.
Hey,
hopefully we can all get back to con soon. Hopefully see you there too.
Yep, that would be awesome. I would love to do a stream like this at San Diego next year with Ryan. Do you go to San Diego?
I'm open for whatever, as long as it's not crazy.
Yeah, hopefully next year it's not crazy.
I really wanted to go to Celebration, but that obviously didn't happen. I want to go to the Star Wars Celebration way more than I want to go to like SDCC or NYCC. The Star Wars is just
the best con, in my opinion, to go to for Hot Toys at least is ACGHK, the Comic Con in Hong Kong. Number one, all of the Hot Toys artists are there. JC Hong is there, Howard Chan is there. And also, they tend to show more stuff than they showed at San Diego, plus the stuff that was at San Diego, and it's right after. So last year, I went to San Diego. Then, as soon as that was finished, I flew back to Melbourne, then flew straight to Hong Kong. If you want to go to a con, and if you want to see Secret Base, and if you want to see Rebel Base, I would recommend Hong Kong. Absolutely.
We might be able to make that happen. Hopefully in the newer world. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Give us. Oh yeah. Okay. So, give us another reissues. That's been another topic that's been brought up. Obviously, since we got DX19 Bat Pod, we're talking about the Joker. We got the Mark 47 this year. That was kind of cool to see out of nowhere. Reissues. There are some people who are really salty about it because the resale value is killed. And then there's people who weren't collecting and now they are, and they have the opportunity to buy stuff. What's your thoughts on reissues?
I think of reissues and remakes a little bit separately. So reissues like the Mark 47, I honestly don't know why that happened. Maybe Hot Toys need a little bit of a cash injection. Not that I think that is true at all, but maybe that's why they were looking, we could do the Mark 47. I don't know why otherwise. It's never been seen again. It's not like it was in a new movie, so it doesn't make sense. I don't know why they're doing that. But a remake like DX19, I'm all around that, because the biggest complaints with the DX12, the size and the mouth plates, they've solved both of those. And they pretty much made, in my opinion, the ultimate 1/6 scale version of that Batman, which is super iconic. And apparently, we are getting this multiverse thing in the Flash movie. If and when that ever happens, apparently Christian Bale might come back, just like all these rumors for Spider-Man 3. So there's a bit of a reason why we're at least getting Michael Keaton. We know that much. So it makes sense. Plus, they need to keep the DC licenses happy, right? They don't want to announce anything new from the new films because they haven't done that well. So they're thinking, okay, we need to keep this license alive. We need to make sure that we're making DC happy or Warner Brothers happy. Let's remake something classic. It's going to sell, but fix all of the problems that they had previously. Makes sense, in my opinion. Makes sense.
Seamus says, bring me a Flashpoint Batman. That's what he says.
Oh, yes. I would love a Thomas Wayne Batman. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm looking at all these. Can't wait for Hot Toys Battinson. We'll see.
I'm gonna give him a chance because I recently saw Tenet, and he stole the show. Robert Pattinson stole the show, in my opinion, in Tenet, more so than the lead actor. I was like, every time he was on screen, the way he delivered his lines and his performance, I was like, all eyes are on Robert Pattinson's performance. It was that good. I was really impressed by his acting chops because I had no idea he could act like that, because all I've ever seen him in is my little sisters are watching Twilight. That's all I've ever seen. I had no idea.
I'm not going to say anything. I've never seen a Twilight anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's any good or not. I don't know.
In Tenet, he really impressed me, and that's probably me being ignorant. I hadn't seen any of his other work, like Lighthouse or whatever that other stuff was. I hadn't seen it, and so he really impressed me. So I think he's going to do a good job.
Seamus says, "Yeah, but Pattinson needs to lift some weights." No CGI.
We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe he'll put on a fat suit for the suit.
It's probably in most of the action scenes. In fact, we've seen on-set photos. It wasn't even him in the suit. So the ones that you see his mouth close-ups, yeah, it'll be him. But
yeah,
I don't think he's stressing that much. To be honest, he's got other things to worry about.
Well, of the figures that they announced, Hot Toys made that giant photo of releasing the quarter scale Spider-Man, Heavy Mando, IG, all these kind of figures. Is there one in particular that you're more hyped about?
Yep. And I'll give you a hint. It's none of the MCU stuff.
I'm trying to think what was in the photo. None of the MCU stuff. So
Heavy Mando. It's Heavy Mando.
Yeah, he looks like a beast.
It's such a question mark for me. It's an all-new style of Star Wars figure. We've never gotten anyone that big and bulky before. Plus, it's a Mandalorian. Plus, Jon Favreau delivered the voice lines. So it's like, and we just had the amazing season 2 of Mandalorian. So all the hype is there. The MCU stuff, I'm not going to complain. I really love it, and I'm going to pick it all up. But right now, IG-11 and Heavy Mando, they have my attention right now. What about you? Are
Heavy Mando.
you hyped for them or the MCU stuff?
I think I'm with you on that. Heavy Mando's way up there. IG-11, while I'm excited to get that figure, I'm a little worried it's going to be fragile. I'm a little worried about that.
I think they're aware of, because I've got the Sideshow IG-88, and I don't hate it. It's not amazing, but it's not horrible. I think that they're going to be conscious in how they've designed it to make it good, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think they'll do a good job with it. The question is, will he fit on a speeder bike?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I would love to see that. I've only got one, but I'll be getting more, obviously, with Hot Toys ones. I will be trying it. Hopefully he does. I would love to display him that way. I think that we are going to be getting an IG-88 based off that mold. Otherwise, there would be no way in hell that they would spend so much developing that brand new mold for a character that was finished in season 1. I would put money on an IG-88 from Hot Toys to go along with the Empire anniversary. They're going to stretch it out. I know the 40th anniversary will no longer be next year. They're going to keep releasing 40th anniversary figures until Return of the Jedi happens. So.
Yep, I think you're right. Jonathan Rose says, thoughts on Space Trooper? Think I got a good deal. The older release Space Trooper.
I love the Space Trooper. I love it.
It's a cool figure.
Looking at him right now. He's spicy.
It's a trooper, so I'm not going to say anything. And it's not a first order trooper, so I'm going to say 2 thumbs up for me. If you got a good deal on it, even better. Congratulations on that. It's for the Heavy Mando is definitely way up on the list for me. IG-11 is going to be cool. I'm going to get the quarter scale Spidey, but I'm a little hesitant on where the heck I'm going to put it. Maybe he'll go with the Hulkbuster. I don't know.
He's
I don't know.
From having seen it, he looks pretty good. But then again, we'll see what it looks like when it comes out. Does it come with a head? I don't remember. I don't think it is. I think it's all mashed. But in the base and whatever, I'm pretty cool with that one. But the Heavy Mando, I think, is way up there. I'm picturing like the end of 2021. We're gonna have Heavy Mando. We'll have our Death Watch Mando. We'll have the version 3.0 Din Djarin Mando at some point, I'm sure. The swoop bike and all that kind of stuff going on. We're going to have another FET or 3. The 40th anniversary reissue new box thing, it will be released any day. That one's coming soon. Yeah.
Which is good because I sold all of my FETs. I don't own a FET yet. So. It's okay. I knew they were going to make more. It's okay.
I never got that deluxe Empire one, so now's my chance to get the deluxe pieces and have him in that look. Not that I would have preferred him over the classic look for Empire, but I will be having my second one displayed like that.
Yeah, that's a good reason to have multiples. I had the Holiday FET, and that's probably the best looking one, I think. On the shelf, that's the best looking one.
I think the Kenner one, because I've got them side by side, but the Holiday and the Kenner one catches my eye more. I don't know what it is. It's the colors are even more punchy. Yeah. Yeah,
I like that one. I am getting the 40th deluxe one whenever it drops in the next couple weeks or so. So definitely getting it, and I'll add that to the FET display and whatever other versions they drop. But I'm picturing him with all the other helmeted. It's a good time to be a collector. It's an expensive time to be a collector.
Absolutely.
So just be careful out there.
I don't know what it is. It's just a basic Death Watch is just doing something for me. I need multiple of them.
Right? I don't think you can get. Why? We're gonna get the Bo-Katan. We got to get multiples. I don't know. You got to have a squadron. I wish they would have had some interchangeable parts with the Death Watch so you could have different options. Maybe they will. I don't know.
I agree.
Maybe a thing. Let's see if there's anything to chat. All right, let's see. Gavin says, about to receive my OG Mando's, my first Hot Toys figure. Congratulations, that's a good one. I prefer OG Mando's armor color scheme. I hope he paints his Beskar for season 3. Well, congratulations on your first Hot Toy being the Mando. That's a great choice. You will not be disappointed with that. Whether he's going to paint his Beskar armor or not, unless if Sabine shows up, maybe. Probably
I think
not.
he needs a paint job, but will he?
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't know.
I mean, he's got to go rule Mandalore now, so you know.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah. Yeah. Awkward. That room got awkward real quick.
Oh yes.
But here's a good question. I'll leave this one. Oh, that's not the question I was going to ask. Where'd it go? I just lost it. There it is. Okay. Death Eagle says, is it a bad idea to pick up first order troopers even if you're just collecting them?
Not really. Not if you like them. If you
Just
like
get
them,
them-
go for it.
Just get them cheap. Get them cheap. Don't pay full retail for any of those. Yeah, just get them cheap. If you like them, buy them.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you're only collecting for yourself, right? So if you like the design of first order troopers, then first order troopers is what you shall buy. It's nobody should tell you what you like and what you don't like. So go for it. If you like the look of them, absolutely all steam ahead. Pick them up.
Exactly. That's all you should do. Oh, I love this. This is great. John says, when will a concept Ralph McCrory Darth Vader 6 scale be made? I don't think ever, but I would buy it.
Ooh, I would buy that. And in the same vein, a Rebels style Darth Vader with that sort of look to the helmet, similar, not quite. You know what I mean? Like I would be all over that.
Yep, I'm in.
I
were just speculating, but I would buy it, but I don't think they're going to make one. I don't know. Who knows? We got all kinds of stuff. I mean, we look at. I was going through the list of the figures that were released this year in 2020, and we got some amazing figures this year. I mean, some amazing figures. I can't even imagine. I know what they've got on pre-order now for 2021, but we don't know what they've got announcing, or we don't know any of that. 2021, I think they're going to bombard the heck out of us with figures, and I'm excited about it. So I don't know.
They will need to make up for what happened this year, right?
Yeah. Yep. So I would say prepare your bank accounts accordingly, but stay in your lane. Do not.
Yes.
Don't go broke buying 6 scale figures. Like stay in your lane.
Not worth it. Not worth it.
No, don't do that. I think I found I give people ask me what should I buy and what's a good figure to buy, and I say the way I've come across it is I have a vision in mind for what I want a wall to look like or a display or whatever, and then I just chase that vision and I make it happen. If you have no vision,
that's the best way.
Yeah, if you have no vision, you buy everything. Or if you're on YouTube, you buy everything. So just saying, it is what it is. But yeah, have a vision and chase that vision, and don't let anybody influence or get you out of your. Just chase that goal. That's all it is. If you have a goal, you will get there. It doesn't matter when you get there; it just matters that you get there.
Exactly.
Yep. Bob Dylan says, "Late to the party, but cheers to these two legends." We're not legends, man. You are. Thanks, Bob Dylan.
Thank you, Bob Dylan.
All right, guys, we've been on here for about an hour and a half, so we're gonna kind of wrap this thing up. I've taken too much
time
of
for me
already.
to finish reviewing this.
That looks so much better than the Mark 50. Oh,
I agree. I agree.
It's the gold, man. It's the gold. It's just gotta. It looks beefier. It's like he actually was lifting weights, and yeah, I'm excited about that. So I'll look forward to that video. Guys, check out Justin's collection on YouTube if you haven't already. His Facebook group, 6 Scale Network.
Thank you.
And go say thank you and watch his videos and all that kind of stuff. So I want to say thanks to all you guys in the chat. You guys have been awesome and chatty with us. And be careful out there in this hype market. If you see figures start to go crazy in prices, be patient. Be patient. Hot Toys has a way of fixing that. So just be patient. Be patient. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a good one. And if we don't see from you again, actually, I have got we all have more video. We'll see you on YouTube. So we're out of here. Justin,
we'll see you.
We'll see. Well, there'll be more videos. Let's go. Bye, guys.